and today we're going to be looking at 3D shapes. So the first couple of learning reminder slides are just going through the names and then some images of some regular 3D shapes that we've discussed in class and I'm sure you will all be aware of. So we have cubes, cuboids, cylinder, sphere and a cone on this one. And on the next learning reminder, we have a selection of pyramids and prisms. Now, I'm just going to go over some vocabulary that you may have forgotten. The first of which is a polyhedron. A polyhedron is a shape with polygon faces. We reminded ourselves of what polygons were last week, and a polygon is any shape that has straight sides. So a polyhedron is any 3D shape which has polygon faces. So this would be an example. Polyhedra have faces, edges and vertices, and it's these three things you would definitely have heard of before, but we just need to remind ourselves of now. So faces, the 2D shapes that make up the outside of a 3D shape. So for example, for this 3D shape, it has a 2D face, as you can see here, of a triangle. Okay, another face that it has outlined here is a rectangle. So that's what we mean by a face. Edges, where the 2D shapes meet along a joined side. So the triangular face meets the rectangular face along this edge. These are all edges. And finally, vertices are the corners, which you can see here. Your activity for today is looking at filling in the information about particular 3D shapes. Now, there's a couple of ways you could go about this. You've got a mild or a hot one to do, just choose one of them. The first is you could go on a 3D shape hunt around your house and see if you can find any objects within these 3D shapes. Some are going to be really easy to find. Some, such as a dodecahedron, are going to be quite tricky. But that's going to be able to help you to recognise the properties. So for example, I have my Amazon Alexa here. Have a guess. Oh, now she's going to start talking. Turn you off. What kind of shape is she? You would be right if you said that she was a cylinder. So then I can find, so for the mild one, we have here, there's my cylinder. I could write cylinder in there. And then I could see, we're given that, we have already been given that she has three faces, which is correct. One face here, and then a large face all around that side here. I just need to fill in the other side. So the number of edges, there's one edge here and another edge here, which would be 2. There's no corners, so it's a 0 for the vertices. And the shape of the faces, there's 2 circles, one circle here, one circle here, and this is one curved. I would also almost be tempted to write one curved. It's a rectangle if we were to unravel it. So you could find some of these shapes around your house. I've got another example of my OXO cubes, which would be the cuboid. So you can practically see. If you decide not to go on a 3D shape hunt, or for some of these, particularly on the hot sheet, the tricky ones, later on in this PDF pack, there's a practical activity, and that is giving you lots of nets of 3D shapes which you can cut out and then try and stick together to make the 3D shapes. You will then be able to look at these 3D shapes and then find the properties that match the ones on there. There are not all of them on here, but it's a different option for you. So have a go with that. If you're finding it a little bit difficult, you can self-mark your answers on these sheets here. There is a bit stuck activity called cube nets. Read through the information. You'll have to cut out these nets on the second sheet and make up the cubes. Okay, enjoy.